John Tecklenburg is the new mayor of Charleston, and in this special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, I speak to one of his former rivals, Tinkler. Let me begin with living history. The Post-Inquirer tweeted this out last night, quote, "Just in, John Tecklenburg is Charleston's next mayor." I'm wondering, what goes to your mind, Paul, when you hear John Tecklenburg is Charleston's next mayor?
I think the people have spoken, and they've spoken loudly, and they have affirmed that they think John Tecklenburg will do a good job taking the reins from Mayor Riley.
Mayor-elect Tecklenburg said last night during his victory speech, quote, "I so look forward to serving this city. I plan to roll up my sleeves and go to work for all of Charleston." All of Charleston tells you what?
I think that Charleston is a diverse city. It's diverse racially, economically, geographically.
Right.
And I think John means it when he says he's going to be the mayor for the entire city.
And his opponent, Leon Stavronakis, as you know, conceded the race to Mayor-elect Tecklenburg. He actually called Tecklenburg by phone and basically says he's looking forward to working with Tecklenburg. And when you think of Leon, what will you hope that he will do when he does work with Tecklenburg?
Well, I talked to Leon a good bit during the race, and of course I was in touch with John also, and we are in large part in agreement over many of the issues. And I'm hoping that through this mayor's race, Leon will have learned some things that he can go back to Columbia and do some things for the city. For example, we talked about the issue of donut holes. One of the biggest problems we have West Ashley is that there are unincorporated areas.
Oh, yeah.
And it creates inefficiencies and that sort of thing. And that's something that they can work on in the legislature, and I hope that Leon will go do that for the benefit of the city.
Tecklenburg also said this, "I want to be the #1 place for us to live." Tell me, how could he make that happen?
Well, many of us think it already is the #1 place to live. But I think a lot of residents of Charleston are concerned that it's become too much of a good thing. So we need to manage that, and I think ideas are already in place if they're properly implemented, such as the tourism plan, that can be done.
Speaking of which, he went on to talk about, Tecklenburg went on to talk about these issues: West Ashley, James Allen, economic development, affordable housing, tourism, education, Paris, Murphy Emanuel. I know you mentioned this earlier, but again, what can we expect from Mayor-elect Tecklenburg?
Well, I think we need to hold him to his word.
Okay.
That and there's no doubt that he will be held to his word. I mean, he is a man of his word.
Right.
And I think that he's going to do something about the revitalization of West Ashley, for example, because that's what's needed at this point in the history of the city. And in any event, I'm looking forward to seeing how John does and how his administration shapes up.
He later said this, "Ask not what Charleston can do for you, but what can you do for Charleston?" So what can residents do?
That's a good quote, a good paraphrase. I think that the residents can get together and get organized around issues that are important to them.
Right.
We saw, for example, the way that the people came together over the Sergeant Jasper issue, and that obviously will shape the final result. We need to do the same thing over the issues of completing 526, revitalization of Citadel Mall, and many other issues that we got going on.
Mayor Riley's issued this particular statement, and I'm paraphrasing here. He says, quote, "The community has been fortunate to have two fine candidates. Tecklenburg will be an excellent mayor, and we'll be looking forward to working with him during the transition period. Tonight is their night."
It was a big night at Tecklenburg party,
Right.
And I agree with everything Mayor Riley said.
Yeah, and obviously you're not the next mayor of Charleston. So what's next for you, Paul?
I don't know. You know, I've just reached a point in my life that I got lots of options, and so I'll be considering those.
That's awesome. Well, Paul Tinkler, it's always good talking to you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Quintin.
I appreciate that.